Do my official start here. Welcome to your breath flow expansion. We'll move a little bit today, stretch, do all the things head to toe. And if you want to go ahead and start your playlist, if you're following mine, that's awesome, or just whatever, you can do it without music at all. So, whatever resonates with you whenever it is that you take this. And we're going to start off in Supta Baddha Konasana. So, your supine butterfly pose, lie on your back. Draw the soles of your feet together, your heels towards your sits bones, and then let your knees hang gently open. If that is too much for your groin, for the inner thighs, or for your low back, you can always just skip that, right? Feels good to you. You could also slide blocks underneath your outer thighs or your knees. And then arm placement is up to you. You could have your arms down by the side body. You could have one palm on your low belly, one on your heart. But the idea is that the shoulder blades are going to pin slightly to your upper back, and as you do that, it allows for the front side of your heart space to lift a little bit naturally. And ideally, you'll feel an expansion and opening of your clavicles. And then the knots on the fronts of your shoulders will naturally draw away from one another, allowing for there to be length in the side neck. So what we're trying to do here is take up space, right? Getting bigger, expansive. But when we move into our practice, it's also noticing the parts of the body that have to give so that the other parts can grow, right? So there is a give and take. We never strike a 50-50 balance. It's kind of the direction we move in, but knowing that that level of perfection is unattainable, right? So if you feel comfortable closing down your eyes, I invite you to do so. If that's not your jam, right, if like closing your eyes makes you uncomfortable, then you take your gaze, your drishti, softly to the ceiling just above you so that you can find a focal point, allowing yourself to drop into your practice and to step out of your day, your life, whatever else is going on around you. And then relax your brow. Relax your jaw. You might even wiggle it side to side. And then wherever you are in your breath cycle, go ahead and exhale completely. And then you inhale through the nose. Allow for your belly to expand, for your rib cage to open, your heart will rise. And then exhale through your mouth, empty out and sigh it back out. Inhale through your nose. And open your mouth, sigh it out. Now if you want to seal your lips and draw your breath through the back of a slightly constricted throat, both on its way in and on its way out. And move through several rounds of breath right here. So working your pranayama so that you can truly connect to what's happening within your body. So the unification of your physical and your subtle bodies, your energy. Now slide your hands to the outside of your thighs. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, use your hands to draw the weight of your knees together like you would the pages of up and let your low back flatten to the mat. Feel a gentle tuck of your pubic bone up towards your navel, so a pelvic tilt. And stay right there with your low back flat to the mat so that you reset your spine before moving. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, draw your thighs in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. It would allow for your shoulders to remain softened back and down so that the neck remains long, rather than drawing your shoulders up towards your earlobes. And then you can take a gentle rock side to side. So you feel a massage across your low back, opening up through your lumbar spine. And then come right back through center. Continue to hold your right leg in and extend your left leg long. I'm going to scoot back a little bit here. And then let your left heel come all the way down to the ground. And as you draw your right thigh bone in towards your frontal rib cage, you feel the compression there. And maybe you stir so imagine the femur head on your right thigh bone. And think of the insertion point into your right hip socket. So with this compression and with this particular angle, this flexion of your hip flexor, the femur head is actually sliding slightly out and below, right? So you circle this around. And then you go in the opposite direction. And then find stillness, inhale here. Now on the exhale, interlace your fingers around your right hamstring and then press your right foot to the sky. Now you can have a deeper, soft bend to your right knee, but ideally your upper back shoulders are still down on the ground. Then you can roll out your right ankle. And then you have the option here to slide your hands up the back side of your leg and find your calf. Now I'm going to soften, I'm going to go a little bit more of a bend in my right knee so that my thigh bone comes in towards my frontal rib cage. Option then to take peace fingers right hand to your right big toe, but ideally your right shoulder stays down. So early in your practice, so don't overdo it, right? But take an inhale. If you're into it, on the exhale, bend your right elbow, lift your chest up towards your right thigh, and go a little bit deeper breathing. Your left leg is long and strong. Take one more inhale. With your exhale, head, neck, and shoulders come back down to the mat. Take your right leg out to the right and then turn your gaze to the left. Now you'll probably have to slide your left hand right in between your left hip bone and the top of your thigh so that your left hip glutes stay down to the mat as you open out. And ideally you feel nothing around your right knee, it's just there. And then on your inhale, bring your right leg back up to the sky. And then exhale, place your right foot down on the earth. Then hug your left knee in, nice and slow. Now same thing, both feet are the right foot is flexed because the heel digs down towards the mat. Your left foot has a baby flex because your left knee is bent. And then you start to circle your left thigh bone around, building heat on the front side of your left hip. And you go in the opposite direction. And come right back through center. Inhale here. Interlace your fingers around your left hamstring and then exhale, press your left foot up to the sky, breathing here. There's an internal rotation to your thigh bones so that your toes are at 12 o'clock, right? Breathing here. Maybe you can start to slide your hands towards your left calf. You can deepen the bend in your left knee if you're into it. You can take these fingers to your left big toe, but feel it out, right? And then the pit of your belly is drawing in and up. Option to exhale, bend your left elbow, lift your chest. Come in a little bit deeper. Slide your right hand to the top of your right leg so everything stays rooted, right? Everything we do is on purpose with purpose. Then you move with the breath, because if you can't breathe, it's not for you, right? So it's very simple. If you can't breathe, you need to get out. And that's with anything. Your yoga, your life. If you can't breathe, don't stay. Take an inhale. And then exhale, head, neck, and shoulders come down. Left leg out to the left, gaze over to the right. Oh. Breathing here. Your right hip stays rooted. And then to draw your left leg back up, you firm up the pit of your belly and your left inner thigh. Inhale, left leg to the sky. This time on the exhale, release, hug both knees into your chest. Inhale. Exhale to a happy baby. So bend your knees. Hands catch the outer arches of your feet. And then your knees come towards your armpits. Your thighs more or less parallel to the ground. And then your shins are perpendicular. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just planting the seed. You can rock side to side, or you can just be still. And then hug your knees back in towards your chest. Slide your hands behind your thighs. And then spinal rocks and rolls. So on the inhale, lift your feet, lift your hips. And on the exhale, round your low back. Keep the pit of your belly pulled in and up. And rock it forward. Inhale. Roll it back. And exhale to come forward. So you're taking like maybe 3 of these. To find that supple sensation across your spine. And then the last one, you come forward. Let's find all 4. So tabletop, box, whatever you want to call it. Just get to your hands and your knees, however you get there. And then stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. And then spread your fingers out wide. All right. So inhale into your cow pose. Take a soft belly down. Lift your chin, lift your tail. Press your heart through between your upper arm bones. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, navel in and up towards your spine. Breathe. Inhale, belly down. There's a sway to your low back. And then on the exhale, drop your head. Really separate your shoulder blades to the best of your ability. And then inhale, belly down, heart forward. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And exhale to reverse it. Dome out your upper back, navel to your spine. And then sticking with cat and cow, these undulations of your spine, unless there's something you would like better, if you want to move out of this vertical plane into something more like hip circles, any kind of natural movement to just open up your body. Feel out the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the hips, and the knees. Now remember, as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. Let's find all 4s again. And then we've talked about this a lot the last couple of weeks, but there's that, that sacred subtle energy between your navel and your pubic bone, right? And so I want you to focus on that right now. You're going to move from that space, right? And you can even feel it warm if you pay close enough attention. And that's moving from your intuitive space, right? And also that is a space where when you draw it back, so there's soft skin in that space between your navel and your pubic bone. And if you draw it back and in, it supports your lumbar spine. So when you start to lift your legs and move in opposite in other ways, right? That human origami we start to do. You're safe, you're supported, you have a foundation from which you can move. So with all of that knowledge, on the inhale, float your right leg back, lift it up to hip height, dial your right pinky toe down. But feel the intention with which you move, right? So there's integrity in everything that you do. Now on the exhale, tuck your knee in towards your chin, your chest, your nose. Can you round up your upper back? And perhaps your forehead meets your knee. Now inhale, lift your right leg. On the exhale, take your right foot out to the side body, but you're lifting it up to hip height for just a moment. Draw your belly in, and then place your right foot down on the floor. All 5 toes point forward. Now inhale, stack your shoulders over your hips. Bring your arms up over your head. On the exhale, just stay right here and feel this all out. Now with your inhale, reach your arms just a little bit higher so that you feel the bottom floating ribs come up and away from the top of your hips. And then on the exhale, drop your left hand down, reach your right arm up and over. So coming into a modified side plank. And then really seal the knife edge of your right foot down. And reach through your right fingertips. So the right side body open. Now you have the option to stay just like this or to walk your left fingertips slightly away from you. Stack your joints and lift your right leg to hip height. You can stay here or on the exhale, bend your right knee, reach your right hand back and catch your right ankle. So this is a back bend, so same thing. That space between your navel and pubic bone draws slightly back so that you're supported even as you begin to arch your spine. And you stretch through your right shoulder, your right scalene, so all the stuff around the neck, coming in towards your traps. And breathe. On the next inhale, it's a soft, controlled release. Your right arm reaches, the right leg extends. And then exhale, place your right foot on the ground. Inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. And exhale, your right hand comes down to your right knee. Reach your left arm up and over and get a side body stretch. Breathe. And then inhale, both arms up. On the exhale, bring your hands down. Take your hips back towards your left heel for funky child's pose, but leave your right leg out to the side. Now, if that's too much for the groin, for the inner thigh, then you can just skip it and come into child's pose or box. All good. Stay with your breath, and if it's available to you to bring your forehead down, then that's what I invite you to do. Now exhale completely. On the inhale, shift back forward onto your hands, stack your shoulders. And then inhale, lift your right leg up and back to hip height. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, curl up your left toes. Press your palms down, lift your left knee. And then exhale, three-leg dog. Lift your right leg up and back. Inhale, stay right here. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hips and your right heel towards your left glute and open this up. You have the option to circle out your right hip or to just be still. Find what you need. Relax your brows, relax your jaw. Just being here, nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. And then on your inhale, re-extend your right leg. And exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb and soften your left knee down. Right knee becomes a 90-degree bend. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another, even though they're not actually touching, right? And then inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Pull the pit of your belly in and up and allow for your left hip flexor to open as it draws slightly forward and down. And then there's a possible either neutral or slight baby tuck of your navel towards your pubic bone towards your navel, so you lengthen through your tail. One more inhale here. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Shift your hips back, straighten through your right leg and flex your toes back towards your shin. Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split. Let your right pinky toe draw back as much as the right big toe. And then breathing into the belly of your hamstring. Ideally, that's where you're going to feel all of this. Awesome. And then on your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back forward. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. And on the exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Holding your high plank for just a second, and then bring your knees down to the ground. And then take your bottom up to the sky. Drop your chest, your chin, gaze forward, hug your elbows in like a little inchworm. And then you inhale onto your belly, pubic bone, toenails down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then exhale, take your hips back towards your heels. And find your child's pose, just staying right there. Take about 3 to 5 breaths here. And you can roll your forehead from side to side, or you can just be still. Inhale, slowly press up into your box pose. And on the exhale, pull your belly in and up so you support your low spine. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back to about hip height. Stay for the exhale. Spin your left pinky toe down. Feel everything out. Now with your inhale, you're going to really feel your left leg extend long back behind you. And then on your exhale, knee to your chin, your chest, your nose. Inhale, lengthen your left leg. And exhale, take your left leg out to the side body. Lift it up to the height that you can. You might feel a little bit of a pitch in the left outer hip. One more inhale. Exhale, place your left foot down on the ground. All 5 toes point forward. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips. Reach your arms out and up. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, reach your fingertips higher. And then exhale, take your right hand down, and then take your left arm up and fold. All 5 toes point forward, stretching for your left side body. Now you have the option to stay right here, or you can walk your right fingertips slightly away from you. And then you lift your left leg up to hip height. Staying right here. You breathe, take an inhale. Option 2, exhale, bend your left knee. Reach your left hand over, catch your ankle. Then you kick into your left hand, bit of your belly in and up. Breathing here. Gaze to the ceiling, or just to the kind of top of your mat. One more breath. And then it's a soft release. Your left leg reaches, left arm extends. And then exhale, place your left foot down on the ground. Inhale, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Exhale, hands to the ground, shift your hips back towards your right heel, and walk your hands forward. Drape your chest down, maybe your forehead comes down. Breathing in. Relax your brows, relax your jaw. On your inhale, shift yourself back forward, step your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Exhale, float your left leg up and back. Stay right here, curl up your right toes, lift your right knee. Inhale, exhale, free leg dog, left heel to the sky. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, open it up. You have the option to be still or to circle your left knee around so that you move the femur head of your left thigh bone and the hip socket. And then inhale, re-extend your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Soften your right knee down. Left knee is a 90-degree bend. Firm up your inner thighs. And then inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale, opening up through your right side psoas, through your hip flexor. One more inhale, lift your fingertips higher so you feel your rib cage lift with your arms. And then exhale, hands to the ground, shift your hips back. Straighten for your left leg. Now when we say straighten, it doesn't mean that the leg goes straight. It's the action that you're taking so that there is less of a bend than there was before, right? And if you can spin your navel towards your left thigh bone, the left hip automatically starts to draw back and the right hip will slightly move forward, allowing you to be squared and leveled off. And then again, there's a baby internal rotation of your left thigh bone so that the second and the third toes point straight up rather than hanging out or hanging in. Breathe here. And then on your next inhale, walk yourself forward. Curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. And then exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat, holding your high plank just for a breath. Inhale here. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, it's your downward facing dog, creating an inverted letter V shape with your body. Your feet might be about hip width distance apart. Hands could be shoulder width distance, but if that doesn't jive with what's going on with you, then do something different. Find a way. Now, when you create your inverted letter V, ideally your tailbone is really the thing that's like the apex of your body. It's the shape that you're creating. So your tailbone and your sits bones kind of press up and back towards the ceiling. If you need to take a deep bend to the knees to allow for the hinge to happen at your hips, then do that, right? Now moving nice and easy. On your inhale, it's a soft bend to your knees so that you can take your gaze forward. Exhale as many steps as you need, feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Inhale, fingertips to your shins or to the ground, your blocks, tabletop your spine. So think the crown of your head moves forward, your tailbone goes back, and your belly is drawn inward and upward. Now feet hip width distance apart. Exhale to a ragdoll. Deepen the bend in your knees. Drape your frontal rib cage to the top of your thighs. And you have the option to grab opposite elbows. You can interlace your fingers around the back of your skull, lengthening through your cervical spine. But just hang here for a second. Nicely done. And then on your inhale, let your hands come down, lengthen your spine, tabletop your back. Exhale, heel toe your feet closer together. They don't have to come all the way to touching unless that's your preference. And fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then on your exhale, right hand comes down. Take your left arm up and over. Really get a side bend stretch here. So gonna stay for like 5 breaths, right? You could just let your right hand slide to the outside of your right leg. If it feels right, you could take your right hand and then circle your left wrist and guide your left fingertips over towards the right side of the room. Breathe. And then you inhale, come right back through center. Get as long as you can first. Exhale, left hand comes down, and then your right arm reaches up and over, stretching now through the right side body. So ideally you feel the bottom floating rib on your right side draw up and away from the top of your right hip. And then you breathe. But so like what I mentioned earlier, as we do this, all of this expansion on the right side causes compression on the left side. It's just the way it works, right? So pay attention to how your right side lung, it inflates and it gets full breath, but the left side lung has to get a little bit smaller, perhaps experiencing less oxygen, right? And then it's all good. It's just the process. It's not good or bad, it just is. And then you inhale, reach both arms to the sky. Awesome. And then exhale, elbows back and down. So catfish your arms, take your heart forward. The knots on the fronts of your shoulders roll back and down, opening through your chest. Inhale, bind up your hands at the small of your back or grab onto opposite elbows, whatever is available at this point. Stay for your exhale. Now inhale, really roll your shoulders back. Let your collarbones broaden. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. And then exhale to hinge at your hips, forward fold. Uttanasana, let your head go. And your fist works its way up and over. Breathe. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, let your hands come down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step your feet back. Hold your high plank for an inhale. Using your core, take the hinge from the hips. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Option to pedal out your feet. And you know you can also take chaturangas and all the good stuff if that's what you came for, right? On your inhale, we're going to do that 2 more times, but just breath to movement. Soft bend to your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine, tabletop it out. Exhale, fold yourself down, let it go. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, right arm down, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, left arm down, right arm reaches. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, elbows back and down. Inhale, bind up your hands by the hasta base of your spine. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold with your shoulder. Open or let your head and neck go. Hands down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands down. Step your feet back and hold. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. So it's like a dance, right? You just move with your breath. Follow the intuition of your body. Lift your hips. Taking one more round. So notice that whenever we move breath to movement, it doesn't mean that we start to move fast and throw our legs and our arms around. We still move purposefully. The breath just gets longer, so just pay attention. Inhale. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, your right hand down, your left arm comes up and over. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, your left hand down to the side body, your right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, cactus your arms, elbows back and down. Inhale, Hasta Bandha. Interlace your feet. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the ground, lengthen your spine. Exhale, high plank, hands down, step it back. Hold for your inhale. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Breathe. Now inhale, soft bend to your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step your feet to your hands. Inhale, tabletop your back. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips back and down. Utkatasana, your chair pose, also called fierce pose. Allow for this to be about your abdominals, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, less about your knee joints and your hips, right? So when you glance down, you can see your toes in front of your knees. And it's like you're actually sitting back and down into a chair. Arms can reach to the sky, or you can seal your palms in Anjali Mudra at heart center. Find the thing that works for you. None of it has to be perfect, it just has to be honest, y'all. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, high plank, hands down, step yourself back. You can always bring your knees down. I forgot to mention that earlier, right? Hold for your inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high, heart's low. Inhale, take your right leg up to the sky, nice and easy. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip. You've been here before. Inhale, your right leg reaches. Now point your right pinky toe down so your right hip drops into alignment with the left. Exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. Your left heel goes flat. So warrior one stance, it's more of a railroad track rather than a tightrope. Inhale, press both feet down, lift your shoulders over your hips, take your arms up over your head, and just breathe. Left toes angle slightly forward, it doesn't need to be exact. And then you're firming up the pit of your belly as well as your left hamstring, your left glute to support the back bend that's happening on the left side of your spine. Inhale here. Exhale, take your elbows back and down, open up through your chest so it's a cactus. Inhale, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Roll your shoulders back. Option to stay right here, or exhale, hinge forward at your right hip, and then take the crown of your head down. So some of you, the crown of your head will come down towards the inner arch of your right foot, and your shoulders will actually slide to the inside of your right thigh. Others, you'll probably feel your frontal rib cage actually on top of your right thigh. It's all good. On your inhale, slowly come back up, shoulders over hips, arms up overhead. Exhale, open yourself up, warrior two. Feet stance at this point, more of a tightrope, so you're probably gonna have to move your feet a little bit. It's all good. Gaze over to your right fingertips. And then inhale, flip your right palm. Reverse your warrior stretch through your right side body. Exhale, take your right hand forward and down, either to a block. You could also take your right forearm to your thigh. Left hand reaches to the sky, so side angle pose. Stay right here for your inhale. On the exhale, wrap your left forearm around the small of your back in a half bind, but continue to open up through your left shoulder. Allow for your left clavicle to stack on top of the right. And then inhale, take your left arm back to the sky. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Now shorten your stance a little bit. Arms are out like a T. Inhale, bump your left hip back. Reach your right fingertips forward. Utthita Trikonasana, your extended triangle pose. Right hand reaches forward and down. The right side ribcage is stacking on top of your right thigh bone. Left arm to the sky. Traditional drishti would follow your left hand, but if that's bothering your neck, just look to the left side of the room. Now exhale completely. Inhale, warrior two. Bend back into your right knee, open your arms out like a T. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the inside of your right foot, parallel your left toes. Now heel toe your right foot over, bring your left knee down for lizard lunge. Staying here. Breathe, let your left shoulder draw slightly forward. Perfect. And from here, left palm stays rooted. Inhale, take your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, right fingertips reach towards the back of your mat. Inhale, lift your left heel towards your left glute. Option to just stay right here. Or if it's available, exhale, your right hand catches your left foot behind you. And you can even roll to the outer edge of your right foot. You can move into a full-on crooked monkey. Whatever feels best in your body. One more inhale. Exhale, it's a very soft release. So the left foot drops down. Now heel toe your right foot to the center of your mat. Inhale here. Exhale, shift back for just one breath. Straighten through your right leg. It's another half split. You've been here before. And then inhale, walk yourself back forward. Exhale, heel toe your right foot all the way over to the left. Slide your left leg long behind you. So Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. It's like a mouthful to say half pigeon, right? But when you move into this space, I invite you to stop bracing for impact and to just let whatever is supposed to happen, happen. There shouldn't be any pain though. There might be discomfort, but there's no pain in your yoga. So if you feel something in your right knee, you draw the heel in towards your pelvis so that the shin bone is less parallel with the top of your mat. Or you place a block underneath you, or you do something totally different because you have the personal agency to make a decision for yourself, right? And that's just the way it is. Also taking a baby flex to your right foot to release all the stuff that's going on in the kneecap. And then can you soften your traps? Can you just let yourself go completely? I'm going to take my torso down on top of my right calf. My forehead comes down. And then your arms can either reach forward, they can reach out, or they can reach back. And just breathe. All right. Slide your hands back. Inhale to lift your chest. Now you're going to curl up your left toes, press your palms down, lift your left knee, float your right leg up and back, and then bend your right knee, circle it out. Get the circulation back into your right hip. And then downward facing dog whenever you're ready. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through, your right heel goes flat. Prepping for warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. Inhale, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Set your foundation, right? Everything that's rooting down into the ground, the base of your structure has to be strong, otherwise the rest of it falls apart. So root your feet down. Get yourself in the right space. And then once all of that part, the lower extremities are supportive, you can start to build the rest of it and it feels better. So with your inhale, reach your fingertips higher. Exhale, take your elbows back and down. Cactus your arms. Inhale. Exhale, bind up your hands at the small of your back. Inhale, puff up your chest, option to stay here. Exhale, hinge at your left hip, take the crown of your head forward and down, work your fist up and over. Your gaze is somewhere on your back leg. If you're working Jalandhara Bandha, your gaze, your drishti is at your own navel, you're tucking your chin towards your chest. And then inhale, right back to warrior one. Press your foot down, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, open it up, warrior two. Now you're back to your kind of tightrope rather than your railroad tracks. Allow for your pelvis to drop down. Get fierce with it, right? So the left knee tracks the heel or the ankle, and it's drawing more towards your fourth or your pinky toe, not so much the big toe. Exhale, inhale, flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, stretching through your left side body. Exhale, left hand reaches forward and down, right arm reaches up and over. Now take your inhale here. Exhale, wrap your right forearm around the small of your back. But remember, there's always an internal rotation to your upper arm bone when you're binding. And you breathe. And then you take your right hand back to the sky. Root your feet down. Inhale, warrior two. Gaze to your left fingertips. So what you're looking at is important. Exhale, straighten your left leg. So where your attention goes, energy flows, right? Inhale, bump your right hip back. Reach your left fingertips forward. Exhale, drop your left hand down. Reach your right arm high. Breathe. Now exhale completely. Inhale, warrior two. Bend your left knee. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the inside of your left foot, parallel your back toes, heel toe your left foot over, and then soften your right knee down. Breathing here. Perfect. And then you have this option to root the right hand down, inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, take your left hand to the back of your mat. Inhale, draw your right heel towards your right glute. Exhale, catch the bind if you're into it, skip it if you're not. Either way, you're gonna get a stretch on the right hip and the right quad. And there's a very soft release. Right toes to the ground. Heel toe your left foot to the center of your mat. Inhale here. Exhale, shift back, straighten through your left leg just for that breath. And then we inhale to walk it back forward. Exhale, heel toe your left foot all the way over to the right for your half pigeon. All right, so paying attention to any sensations that you feel. Your right thigh is kind of pressing down into the mat. And then you take a flex to your left foot. Pull your chest forward. When you're ready to come down, you come down. Breathe and soften the areas that you are bracing for impact. That does not serve you, right? It will not make it better. So, as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. Now you're going to slide your hands back. Inhale, lift your chest. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. And then exhale, left leg reaches up and back. Bend your left knee, stack your hips, circle it out. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. And then you'll come down onto hands and knees. Take an inhale. Bring your big toes to touch and the knees out to the side edges of your mat. And then exhale to Balasana, your extended child's pose. Forehead down, hips to your heels. Now inhale, press back up into all fours. And then exhale, whatever way you want to come into a seated position. And just find that, right? Bottom down on the floor. Scoot forward. Bring your feet about hip width distance apart. And then take a C curve to your spine. So it allows you to roll down onto your back, one vertebra at a time. Once you're there, Supta Baddha Konasana again. So just the same way that we started class, right? Moving into a cobbler's bridge. So if you hate this, do something else, a different back bend, right? But if you want to move into like the butterfly variation of a bridge pose to bridge your spine, you take your supine butterfly pose, press the knife edge of your feet down. Hands are next to the hips, palms face down. And then lift your hips up. Breathe. It's very normal for there to be like a shake and a vibration and all that kind of stuff. You're going to stay and then slowly come down. Baby little rock side to side. And then inhale, open your arms out to a T, and on the exhale, drop your knees to the right and turn your face to the left. Let both shoulders stay rooted to the ground, the upper back. And on your inhale, one knee at a time, come back through center. If you need to scoot your hips slightly to the right after that, do so. And then exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right. Breathe. And then you're going to inhale one leg at a time, come back through center. Exhale, press your feet up into the sky. So waterfall. Option is to stay right there. If you want to move your feet in little circles or figure eights. And then you'll probably want to move to the last song on the playlist if you're not already there. Hug your knees in towards your chest when you're ready. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your forehead up to your knees. Tuck your chin towards your chest. One more inhale. And then exhale, open up into your Shavasana. So extend your legs forward. Imagine you're like this wet towel, right? You just unfurl, sprawl out, take up as much space as you want. Let your feet hang comfortably open. The backside of your body is grounded, it's rooted, it's heavy. But the top side is light, it's weightless and floating. So you experience and live both of these things at the same time. Your face is soft. And the tongue falls away from the roof of your mouth. And rest, enjoy. you need is to be here a little bit longer, a little bit tune me out, and stay right where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your inhale, float your arms up overhead. Find a full body stretch. And on the exhale, draw your knees in. And then take your time. You either roll over to the right or press straight up into your Sukhasana, your comfortable, easy sit. It's where we'll all meet. And then seal your palms together in Anjali Mudra. Take your thumbs towards your sternum. Just take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for our bodies, for what they do for us today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. So thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your day, and namaste.